Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We're asking support from our Shaykh, inshallah ar-Rahman. Always we're asking, whether I'm saying it from my tongue or not. We cannot do anything without his permission, although he has given us his permission, but we're always asking for his support, always. We are Ahli Sunnah, alhamdulillah. The Ahli Sunnah, the meaning there is not just we are not like the Wahhabis. They are going straight to Quran, and they even question all the Sunnah practices, all the Hadiths and everything. They want to go straight to the Quran, not understanding that they learn the Quran not from Allah, unless they are prophets, but they learn the Quran from the Sahabi Kiram, from the Tabi'ins, from the Tabi'ins, from the Tabi'ins of 1,300 years. That's how they learn the Quran. So if you deny all of this and you go straight to Allah, then you're declaring yourself to be higher than everyone else, in effect a prophet. Not even the Sahabi Kiram, they will know and understand the Quran without the Prophet ﷺ. As Shaykh Effendi had said, when Jibreel ﷺ, he brings the wahi, there are some who feels that he's present, there are some who can smell, and there are some who can actually see. It says the lowest level Sahabi will hear like a buzzing when it is happening, a buzzing. You understand? So we are Ahl Sunnah. So we learn our Quran not relying on our own intelligence and understanding, but relying on the intelligence and understanding and the closeness of those ones before us who are close to Allah and His Prophet, and all those ones that are there. It's important. Why is this very important? It is important because you ask the question, how are we going to how are we going to choose which Sahabi? Shaykh Effendi is saying, take one Sahabi. How are we going to choose? How are we going to know? One of the reasons why that is very important in these days is because they have removed the role models and the heroes of this ummah. They have removed all the holy ones, and they put all those ones that are based on nationalism. Your hero is now the one who founded your country. That is your main hero. Your hero is the one who is kicking a football and earning $1 billion a year. Your hero is a man who got bitten by a spider, so he becomes Spider-Man. Your hero is a singer. Your hero is this. We're filled with heroes. So we don't live in a time where we don't know who to follow. We live in a time where there's so many claiming, follow us. If you follow us, you're going to become like this. Every commercial that you see on television is saying, follow us. You want woman, you buy this perfume. You want happy life, you buy this car. Everyone is pulling you. In the old days, you don't really have that. You don't. Because this disease of capitalism was not there. People were living lives very peaceful. Today's understanding may be very boring lives, but they're very peaceful lives with a lot of faith and a lot of fulfillment. They have peace and they have happiness. Just having a peaceful life, to be working easy, simple, and to come back and to spend time with your family and your loved ones. Then to worship, that we put aside. Or now. Now where we are living, our kids are going to grow up, they are going to see so many heroes, so-called, role models, that when they are young, they watch television, they say, I want to be like this, I want to be this pop star, I want to be this singer, I want to be this. Now they're making it so open, they say, anyone can be anything. It used to be, they say what? You can become a Buddh. Buddh? You can become idol. Anyone can become idol. Whole country saying, these are the country's idols. And then someone goes there, making some funny jokes, singing some songs, and then people vote and say, this is the idol for this country. Yes? At least those ones have talent, yes? And nowadays, do you have to have talent to have followers? They don't even call them friends or followers, they call them. Once upon a time, you only say followers for prophets. Now see, this one has 2 million followers. They all follow you to hell. This is what's happening. So you don't have to have talent. Now all you have to do is just do some funny thing, move your head funny, do this and that, and then people will like it, because people are so empty and blind that any small little thing that is going to pull their ego, they love it. So these are all their heroes, and it affects us. Don't think it doesn't affect us. It affects us. If you don't study and try to understand this, you're not going to understand yourself. You will not be able to understand where you are with the faith. If you're not understanding how these things are really influencing us everywhere and influencing our children and our loved ones, you can be on that mimbar screaming 24/7. You're not going to understand. Nothing is going to reach to their hearts, because you don't understand the sickness. It used to be the heroes were the holy ones, brave ones, fighting for Allah and His Prophet from the truth. Those were the heroes. They used to write songs about them. They used to tell their stories over and over again to their children, to the grandchildren, until everyone feels some nourishment coming to their heart, some peace, some support. Because when you mention those holy ones, it comes with rahmat. You mention them, they are there. They are praying for you. And they are going to say, buried in this area is one saint. And they used to tell stories of that saint. And people want to hear these stories over and over and over again. They don't get sick from it. And every time you mention a friend of Allah, you think Allah is not going to mention you. Allah loves His friends. Alhamdulillah, Allah gives us so much in this country, but He took away so much also. Allah gives us in this country, we don't have to run around so much, killing ourselves to put a roof over our head and to put food in our mouth. Yes? Allah also gives the blessings of this country, that people are not obsessed to become like royalty, like high class. They have something, it's enough, and that's it. There is no push to be, oh, I have to be high class all the time. No, there isn't. Yes? But what is missing? What is missing here when we have all that material comfort is all the things that we've talked about, where the heart needs that satisfaction. You satisfy the mouth, the dressing, the this, but no one is understanding what is the heart, how the heart can be satisfied. If the heart is not satisfied, everything else will be gone, finished. Everything else will be poisonous. People will start hurting themselves, killing themselves, and they don't know why. But the reason is the heart. And if Muslims think to satisfy the heart means a couple of doctors get together to build one masjid where everyone goes in there, forcing their children, everyone just going up and down like robots to show off, to say, I built this and I built that, everyone coming in there to be busy with gossip, that's not the heart. Where the heart is, if you are sick, if your heart is sick, you will never in a million years want to go to a foot doctor. Will you? Your heart is sick. The hospital is there. You will never go to someone who's fixing the nose or the knees. You know it is the heart. That is, if you know that it is the heart. This is the problem because people are not understanding what is it that is missing. So they try to say, give more ilm. They say, make more ziyarats, make more zikr. But they're not understanding the heart. Of course, the heart that remembers Allah will find satisfaction, that is zikr. But what is the point of zikr, remembering Allah, when the heart is sick? First, you have to heal the heart. Before you heal the heart, you have to know what are the diseases that is coming. You think it's not a disease, you think it's harmless, but it is very harmful. You think it's funny, but it is putting arrows to your heart. You think it's just nothing, but shaitan is already putting hooks to your heart. And this is something that is completely lacking here. Completely. Do you know why? Even if you feel that your heart is sick here, you're missing something. We don't have the luxury. We're so poor living in this country. We don't have the luxury to get up and just go to a maqam somewhere, a friend of Allah who is buried somewhere, and to sit and then to go to be filled. Yes or no? You're very poor in this country. In other poor countries, they're very rich. No matter what kind of problems that they have, what is plaguing them, what is killing them, they go, they sit, satisfaction comes to them because they're asking Allah through the intercession of His friends, and that peace enters. Oh, you want peace in your heart? You remember Allah. How are you going to remember Allah if you do not remember His friends? Impossible. How are you going to remember Allah if you don't remember His Prophet? How now are you going to remember Allah if you don't remember those ones who loved the Prophet ﷺ so much that they gave everything for him and they asked nothing in return? How? So we're saying we're Ahl Sunnah. That love has to continue. It's not just saying Prophet, companions, Tabi'ins, you must know them. You have to love them. Tabi'ins, you must know them too. Tabi'ins, you must know your history. You must know who are these that is connecting themselves to the Prophet, because we are not connected. And if you want to go all the way there to connect, it is impossible. So Shaykh Effendi says, find someone. Replace that love. Take away the wrong love and put the real love. Take away the idols and put the love of Allah. Because when you love those whom Allah loves, Allah will love you. Simple as that. You don't be so stupid to say, well, if I put Prophet here and I forget about Allah. Oh, if I remember his friends, I'm going to forget all about Allah. It is impossible. If that were true, if that kind of logic is real, in 1400 years you're going to see so many Muslims worshipping so many different things, but saying it is Islam. In the beginning, they're going to worship the Prophet ﷺ. Did it ever happen? 1400 years, as they say, he is Lord? No. Did it ever happen that they're putting one saint because they're loving so much, they're following everything properly, and they say this is Allah? Impossible. They tried to do that. They tried to. With Shiism, they tried to. Even that, they didn't succeed 100%. Do you understand? So this is why, as being Ahl Sunnah, if your heart, you're not trying to fill it up with the love of those ones, don't think it is empty. It is going to be filled up with nonsense things. Nonsense. It's going to keep you busy. It's going to keep you occupied. It's going to keep you happy and sad over nonsense things. We don't talk about them. And in these days, in this country, we talk about awliya Allah. It's as if it is something so dirty. It's as if it is something so against reason or logic or tradition. Do you understand how miserable we are? But just to mention them brings such refreshment to our hearts. Just to mention their names brings such refreshments to our hearts. Now, how are you going to love Hazrati Bilal Habashi? How are you going to love him when you're not recognizing there are saints that comes from him? How are you going to do that? You think he will return that love even if you do? Do you understand? So, pick one. How are you going to know? Don't ask me a stupid question. When you've gone through 124,000 and then you are confused, that time come and talk to me. Say, I'm confused. I went through 124,000 companions and I don't know which one. There's so many. Good. You understand? So, but you haven't. So try to see what is your heart calling out for. Which one? Don't make the mistake. Do not make this mistake that when you love them, you think that you are them. Don't make that mistake. Don't make the mistake. I never hear all these years, Bilal is here. Bilal thinks that he's Hazrati Bilal. Although so many times Shaykh and he's praising him, we are praising him. He never says that. Don't try to think just because your name is Adam, you are Hazrati Adam. Don't try to think that because you're Mudassir, oh, there's something to do with the Prophet. There are people in tariqat, they always have weird ideas, don't you know? Especially in tariqat. Sometimes I don't blame these Wahhabis. I don't, because people in tariqat behave like idiots. For 1400 years, there were laws within the tariqat themselves, and people that if they go a little bit out of line, they'll smack them. Says, what are you saying? There are people just because their name is Jibril, they thought, maybe I am Jibril alayhi salam, or coming from him, or this or that, whatever. There are people who are saying, Murid, what did you dream last night? I dreamt this. That dream is for me, because I was thinking about you, so you dream, and it is for me. And they talk amongst themselves. What else? We should have one sohbet where we're going to put one whole list of all the stupid things people in tariqat that they do. They can like me, they can hate me. I don't give I do give tea. I don't care so much. But this is wrong. Wrong is wrong. Don't read about these saints and then thinking, I'm also a saint, wanting to become one. This is one of the reasons why in the old days also tariqat is closed to so many people. Good people, people 1,000 times better than us, but it's closed. Because people have crazy ideas, you know. They see a little thing, this one woman saying to Shaykh Effendi all the time, I'm watching her. And Shaykh Effendi would have zikr, and then she would come to Shaykh, my zikr, I see this light. And I see this light, and I see this light. Shaykh says, mashallah, very good. Next week coming, say, Shaykh, I see this other light, and this light coming. Say, okay, very good. Over and over again until I'm seeing Shaykh Effendi swallowing, swallowing, swallowing. This is a thing also in the older cultures. A person, even if he sees something that is true, he feels shy and shame to say it. Because he says, who am I? I doubt myself. That must come from shaitan. They feel shame and shy to admit to say. And when they do, it's in privacy, and they're like, this is, oh, these days. You know what Shaykh Effendi said to that woman one day? She came to say, Shaykh Effendi says, if I punch your face one time, you're going to see lights too. So tell me what kind of lights you see. Why is Shaykh Effendi saying that? It's not as if people don't see it. Some is true, but most is not, especially here. And Shaykh Effendi never says, run after those people. He always says, run away from them. Illusions and delusions. Run away. So, woman is, or man is worshipping all the time, is helping all these, and he sees all these things. He knows by himself, this is not something I'm going to. If it were true and he shows it, everything will be taken away from him because he cannot keep a secret. Then he'll be punished. If it were not true, oh, the angels have fun that day, punishing him. So this is, you know what Shaykh Effendi said? Okay, so people say, I see this light, and? Then what? Oh, Okay, you can walk on water. And? You can fly. Then what? What are you going to do? You're going to fly and put the flag of Islam on the White House? No. You're going to walk on water and save all the refugees? No. Then what? What? Then what? Then what? Then what? And my murids, our murids, especially women I'm watching, not so much here, maybe in other countries, that they are busy like that. Even in whatever language that you have, I will know. Be away from all of that. Stop all of that. Stop talking about these kinds of secrets and these kind of unveilings, this kind of kashf, this kind of dreams and visions. Stop talking. It is forbidden to talk. If there's anything that is happening, you should be asking me. Not to each other, not even to show off to each other. No, especially on social media. Stop all of that, because that now you open the door, open the door for shaitan to enter. It's going to make fitna. Especially now they're giving advice to each other. Oh, how are you giving advice? Oh, I have permission from the Shaykh. I do not give any permission to no one, no man, no woman to do that. If you don't like it, you leave. Go to any Shaykh that gives you permission, you're free. I'm not here saying, please, Your Majesty, stay. I never say that to people who don't want to stay. No matter what they did, you want to go, gula. So, there are some that they're really going through certain things, then they come to me. That's completely different. And I can see, and that is also a test. It's a big test. So, that's different. Quietly, that's different. But you should know also that we are not really concentrating on these things. There are other things that you should concentrate. What is that? If you're able to step on your ego today, your shaitan today, if angel of death comes to you today, you're not going to be tested to say, can you fly? Can you walk on water? But you'll be tested. Did you live for Allah's sake today? Whose rights did you take? Who did you worship today? Your desires or Allah? These are very important. These ones, when they talk and they're busy like this, death is very, very, very far away from their heart. Very far away. Yes? Very far away. They think they live forever. They're already thinking that they are lords. But if you know death is very close to your heart, and that we are going to be judged. There are some, they're so sneaky, they say, yes, but just like Hazrat Bilal, I can't wait to see my Shaykh. And I say, you're still idiot. Then you're still at a very low level. Then you still don't know our Shaykh. Even the prophets, they tremble on the day of judgment. What makes us to think that everything is going to be so sweet and easy for us? You understand? What Shaykh Effendi is saying? To be a servant. To be a servant, to do everything, to run, to do everything, and still to know we did nothing. Is nothing. Meaning, we still don't know whether it's going to be acceptable or not. And there is a behavior that comes with that. There is a humility. You humble yourself. Yes, there is a humbleness. You are not proud. But there is also a confidence that comes because you are not doing it to get paid. You understand? You're not doing it so that they can do something for you too. With ikhlas. That time you can be a little bit more free. Tamam. So, read up, understand, call on them. That's why in the old days they have the names of the Sahabis in their houses. At least in the jamis they have 5 times a day. Yes, they used to go to the jamis 5 times a day. Because people back then, they are very free. And they have a life. Today we are so tight and we have no life. We don't go to where Allah says, gather in my name for my sake. We're so busy. Because we're struggling in this country, right? To eat and to put a roof over our head? No. Understand now the irony of it. We become more slaves to the system. So you enter into a place with the names of the Sahabis. Just to look at it will remind you, it will pull you. So there's so many things that you do even before you sit and you say Allah. Before you go and you make your namaz. Before you do anything that is religious. So many other things that are there to already fill your heart and to move you. So now when you worship, it has taste. You don't worship because you have to. Worship just to get taste. Because there's taste everywhere. Allah forgive us, inshallah. Yes, there is still places in America where if you feel really tired, you feel dirty, yeah, Osmanlı Dergahı. Don't say, oh look, he's, what do you call? He's praising himself. No, it's Shaykh Efendi's place. This is Shaykh Maulana's place. Yes, I'm going to say. I am plugging that. It's not for me. In fact, for me, it gets more complicated, gets more heavy, the work. But I know the feeling. I still remember, I don't forget. When you want to escape and to be a little bit more free, to breathe a little bit. Not to come here to think now everything is perfect, everyone is people of paradise, everything. No, it's not. People who are looking for that, they will never find it. But to come to know that this place is blessed, you'll find blessings everywhere. Even if someone is like this, a little bit like this, someone is a little bit like that, they say this is details. This is what I have to pay? This is my entrance fee to pay to sit here? I'll give it 1,000 times over because I cannot find peace like this anywhere else. Yes? Inshallah. And we are thanking our Shaykh for that, day and night. And we're asking his forgiveness for all our wrongdoings, all our dirtiness, all our weakness. And we're asking him to support us, inshallah, to become better and have better people. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Hurmatil Habib, Hurmatil Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum.